If we want to stop causing harm, we have to be able to show that we can live differently, that we can eat differently, build differently, like this, by putting a kind of crazy pressure on ourselves, actually, on our shoulders. And that was harmful. And that also led some people to leave, actually, because we put too much pressure on ourselves trying to achieve something, forgetting to just be, and also forgetting, well, that it's just hard and that there are things we can't manage. If we manage to focus on being well, so ourselves, and then as a group, well, after that, the drive to move towards self-sufficiency, it's not motivated by fear or by pressure of I have to. It's motivated by I feel good, I'm happy, I'm surrounded by good people. Now, what do I do with this privilege? Because we're not stuck in that I have to mindset, which is destructive and hard to maintain long term. Utopia is a space, a place with buildings, a common house, and small personal dwellings. It's a space where we're experimenting with many things. I would say mainly today, 5 years later, living together and self-acceptance and acceptance of others. Trying to move more towards personal and collective well-being, like a sort of foundation, so that afterwards we can shine and try to reach other areas, like ecology, permaculture, and self-sufficiency.
And Utopia is a school of life for me. And yes, of experimentation, of learning. It's a place where you can feel free and safe. That whatever you do can be accepted and can be seen as part of your own process.
I just felt right at home here, in the sense that we take the time to do things, to listen to ourselves and to check in with ourselves. And to see, do I want to do this? Am I forcing myself to do it? Finding a balance between doing things for the group and for myself. Always actually asking myself that question. And here we take that time and we take care of each other.
And I was looking for a place that was doing things differently, because I wanted to be able to live in accordance with how I felt Mother Earth actually wanted to support me. And that meant breaking away from patterns so that I could actually exist without the pressures and the conditioning of society, and do things differently without the expectation of having to do something in order to receive something back.
For me, it's really about being. Much more than doing, we're also doing things. It's a secluded forest, there are secluded people, we have lots of projects going on, we're gardening.
I knew that the economic system just does not work. And it puts an immense amount of pressure that takes us away from who we want to be at our core. So that made complete sense, that you give what you can when you can. And it doesn't change your value as a person. It doesn't secure your spot in the community.
This creates a gift economy, with the freedom for people to be themselves and be accepted as they are, not as we wish. So yes, definitely. That everything kind of revolves around this idea of how to transform the negative impact we have by default, for example, as French people, into a positive impact. If we want to stop causing harm, we have to be able to show that we can live differently, that we can eat differently, build differently, while putting a pretty crazy amount of pressure on ourselves. And that was harmful. And that also led some people to leave, because we put too much pressure on ourselves trying to achieve something, forgetting to just be, and also forgetting that it's just hard and there are things we can't manage.
We're only now starting to feel settled. For example, that cabin has been ready since last year, even though we've lived here for 5 years. But we didn't actually prioritize building the cabin because we had so many other things to do. Hospitality was very important, welcoming visitors, the garden, building the place. So actually we put our primary needs a bit on the back burner. And I think that's a mistake. If we had put our primary needs before everyone else, we would have been in a better state to welcome others, to listen to ourselves and to set our boundaries and everything.
If we manage to focus on being well, so ourselves, and then as a group, then the drive to move towards self-sufficiency isn't motivated by fear or by the pressure of you have to. It's motivated by I feel good, I'm happy, I'm well surrounded. Now, what do I do with this privilege? Because then we are not in that I have to mindset, which is pretty destructive and very hard to maintain in the long run.
But I think that things happened the way they did because they had to. It's perfect, you know? I mean, otherwise we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have learned as much. And anyway, we couldn't have done it any other way.
Here the vegetable garden is a bit messy. Thank you. Things grow in all directions with lots of biodiversity, and we also have other gardens where we created borders like this. Here everything is mixed together. Our plants grow alongside many wild ones. Typically we bring a salad bowl here at mealtime and pick our salad by mixing various wild and cultivated items. There's a lot of variety in this vegetable garden. Well, here there's a bathtub filled with soil. There you go. Yes, so here under the pile of brambles and nettles, there's a huge pile of clay that we dug out from the ground because our land is really clayey. So we use this clay for making plasters, cob, building work and earthen finishes. And our neighbor gives us a huge amount of straw. So it's the same, it's not a rare commodity at all. So that's cool.
From the beginning, when we started dreaming about this place, we had the idea for the pillars. We thought there really have to be pillars. There have to be some guiding principles for the project. That's how we decided to ask ourselves what our pillars are and what's most important. So being vegan has been very important from the beginning because it's our way of eating. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy of life. Without money, we said it would be difficult to make it a pillar, so actually that changed towards a gift economy. Because, well, at the beginning there was already a conflict between Ben and me, meaning that Ben would have liked it to be completely without money, but to make it happen, over time we realized we couldn't manage entirely without money, especially as a family.
A money-free space, it was a dream from the past. But this gift economy remains very political, because an economy based on giving, without schedules, without any obligations, without the need to pay for something, to be here, even to live here, yes, that's a strong pillar, like veganism or ecology.
Yeah. We are an association, the Ver de Terre Association, and the members' place of residence is here, so this is the Utopia project. And then there can be other entities within the association. And so all the residents are members of the association. There are 5 of us, so there's me, Koeko, Charlène. Wait, actually there are 6 of us. Me, Koeko, Charlène, Ben, Yasmin and Ada. And actually the only difference is when there are people who want to join the project, well, it's the 6 of us. Oh dear, yes. Well, wait. Yes, no, but this time it will work. The 5 of us vote on who joins since Adam doesn't vote. Why not? Last time she didn't vote. Yes, she did. She voted for me. The lucky one, yeah, well, that's it. And actually, really, there's no difference because the people who have been here for 6 months also vote on new members. To join the Utopia project, we had to repay part of the loan used to buy the house and land. And so there was a time when you had to give money to join, and now that's not the case anymore. You can join without money, without anything. It's voluntary, and participants can choose whether to donate to the project. We have a Utopia account at the bank where we manage some of the community expenses with that. For example, if we need to buy wood for the winter or for water, taxis, all those things. And it's the same, it's based on donations, it's the people who live here. If we want to, we put money into the account and there's no obligation. There's a follow-up where if ever there's not enough money and we need it, well, in a meeting we say it would be good if there was more money, but there's nothing you have to pay. It's all just based on donations.
It really helped to at least have some guiding principles because, well, first of all, it filters people out quite a bit, meaning that already very quickly, if it didn't match on paper, well, we didn't even try. And if it did match on paper, well, there were a lot of things that came up as we were experiencing it, and we had to see it for ourselves.
And every time I saw an Ecovillage where the vision wasn't clear enough, from the very first years actually, it doesn't work. It's important to have a certain level of precision, and so it's not just about vision, it's also about how. It's also about how we do things. So maybe we could have a group where not everyone is vegan, but then all those people would need to be okay with it, that it fits within their boundaries, whether someone is or isn't vegan. And if that's not the case, it will never work.
I think the conflict was inevitable in any case. I think the human factors and each of our different visions will eventually clash. There are just too many factors that can create a conflict. Personally, I think that, on the contrary, having those core principles, and then later, when the founders arrived, they really helped us refine those core principles and develop a real vision that maybe wasn't complete before. At the time, it really helped us even more to ask ourselves what is important to us and to restructure that. Yes, it's clear that it needs to be reviewed from time to time, at least once a year. I still agree with that.
We came here for the values, for the vision, and then actually we became, and the vision, it changes. Every day I'm changing my own vision. Am I still aligned with this place? I don't know. I need to question myself about that again, actually. Regularly, our experiences make our visions change, and we aspire to other things, or we wish things would change in a certain way here. We have other needs, and that's why it's necessary to create the vision we talked about before.
I'm really happy with the group that we have. It presents some challenges because we're all on different paths, of course, as usual. But I think now Utopia is truly at a place where people come, and where people come because they align with where Utopia is.
The place has an identity. You see, living without money, alcohol or tobacco, and being vegan, that gives an image. Yeah, it really conveys the core values, the foundations of the place. And I think we're all here for that. We agree with that. And then it's about how we manage that, how each person lives day to day.
A vision, it's embodied by people. And so it's taken on by people, which can make it harder for others to make it their own too. We were very careful in trying to leave space and all that, but it's still difficult because, generally speaking, plus I had written a book, so there's my position, my stance, which is dedicated in this situation, to manage to leave space while staying active, while staying myself. So that's the first obstacle. And it's also related to the pressure that comes with having an intention. If we start a project, we have a direction in mind, we want it to go somewhere. We can be open to things being different, but the pressure of wanting remains strong. And that one, it can discourage, or it can be too overwhelming, or some people suddenly say, well, yes, but actually, no, I can't. So there's a primary responsibility on our side.
Here, the idea is that the project has been under construction from the beginning, and we've been very open from the start in saying, actually, we're going to create something together with the people who are here. So actually, we deliberately didn't define certain things too much or put our stamp on everything, specifically to leave it open and let people who were there feel like they could make the place their own.
The success of the project so far, and this year has really shown that, is because it's organic. We try to stay as flexible as possible. There are strong values, but even those can be up for discussion. This organic living aspect, actually. We have to stay alive.
Life is good.
Life is good. If you're healthy, you're lucky.
Life is good.
Some people found living collectively too communal. At first, it's great with many friends and contacts, but eventually you can get lost in the group and struggle to find personal time. Even with outdoor space, you can feel lonely and fear missing out. You can be alone, but with so much happening in the common house, you sometimes wish you joined in too. Sometimes you just wish nothing was happening. And there have been requests. Some people would like there to be times when nothing is happening. And so there are people who get swept up by the group and can't manage to stay back. And after a while, they kind of experience a collective burnout, where they don't take care of themselves anymore. They're no longer in touch with themselves.
All the cupboards are personal food storage for the people who live here all the time. And as for cooking, actually here we have a communal meal every day around 4 or 5 p.m. Most of the time we snack individually, that's why we have cupboards. People who live in Lyon put money in the donation box, and whoever shops for communal items takes money from it to buy what's needed. We put the food in common areas, either here or in the basement. People who are scheduled to cook write their names on the board.
We call ourselves a family because we live together, share things, and shop for each other, creating family ties. Well, we share the car. We really are. We function like a family. Then we have friendships. When we're in trouble or when we need support, when we want to do something, we go. Sometimes we don't live here actually, we have other friends outside. But it's hard to live here because there are about 10 of us. So that's it. Friendships plus professional connections through the project. I think this cohabitation is especially intense and needs to be enriched with external connections. And you need friends, you need other projects outside, you need personal projects, you need to nurture yourself and diversity. One pitfall we sometimes see in a collective like this is that you feel all your needs are met, so you don't go out, you don't make friends, and you want to stay. You can stay for 3 months and then suddenly realize you feel bad and don't know why. You just need some fresh air or a change of activity. So for life in a collective to be easy, once again, you have to find a way, either beforehand or in the moment, to know who you are and what you want.
We would like all our needs to be met here. And we forget that there's also the outside world where we can go, live and explore what we want in our career. So we shouldn't forget that we're not alone here. And for me, the welcome is important for that. It's part of becoming aware of this.
Winter is the hardest, when the place feels dead. That's when a lot of things come out, because that's when we really live together, when we immerse ourselves. When there are lots of visitors, it lightens things up, it eases the tension. We really have tools to address these topics and try to have gentle conflict resolutions and transparent and in real time and restorative. At the beginning of the meeting, we do what we call an emotional check-in, where each of us just says how we feel in the moment. So we can talk about anything we want, it's open. So that already gives us a sense of how everyone's feeling, we can express needs or concerns or tensions, things that are on our minds. I'm really grateful for the meals, for the people who cook, and for having plenty of food. And it makes me feel really good, and it was very tasty today. So thank you to Scola and Ben. And my little addition is, as we've told several people, we use sociocracy, so it's decision-making by consent. The idea is really that, it's that we all feel heard and taken into account, every one of us. And then when it comes to tensions, the first tool we use, I think the basic one, is the cœur à cœur à cœur. It's a tool from 5 Amis. Actually, the idea is that if something bothers me about someone, I'll first take the time to see why it bothers me, what it brings up for me, and then go talk to them about it. And that person, in turn, will take the time to see why they're actually doing that, and whether they could do things differently, and what it brings up for them. And so, actually, we diffuse a lot of things, just from that first conversation. Some new tools have just come in, including co-listening. We give ourselves a set time of 10, 15, or 20 minutes, and we explore an emotional issue. This is really to let things out. And the other person is actively listening, just accompanying, to help dig deeper and actually touch on what's sensitive. And once the person is finished, the other does the same. We feel torn because humans are really complicated to deal with. And even though we have individual living spaces, we're actually always in the common house. We see each other constantly and basically live together all the time. And of course, the human side of things brings up a lot. It stirs up many things, causing tensions. I've talked a lot about the human side, but there are also tensions in the doing. In the sense that if I do a lot, I'm going to expect the other person to do the same. But since we're free, I need to accept the other person as they are. If he doesn't do it, it's not a big deal, it's his choice. But it can affect me. And that aspect of doing things also affects our relationships. But often they are unconscious. And that's what's tricky. It's about looking at that and saying to yourself, okay, today I spent my day in the garden, I did a lot of things because I wanted to do them. If you have to do it, then there's a problem.
People who want to be part of a shared project really need to take the time to revisit their childhood dreams and say to themselves, yes, but that doesn't really suit me, but that's okay. It seems really great here, so I'll stay. Actually, those compromises will grow enormously after a while. So you shouldn't compromise on your childhood dreams. Often that's how it is for people who come here. Small compromises at first become much bigger over time.
There are people who have a very strong ideal. That's what comes up the most often. It's you see an eco-community on paper, nature, it's going to be like this, like that. Well, that's everything I've dreamed of. Actually, we had someone who told us that since she was 8 years old, she had been dreaming of this. And it's true that after a year, actually, she kind of fell into depression. And so this is just my analysis, but there was a bit of a feeling as if, well, she was faced with the fact that the ideal she had wasn't actually something she liked. We often create an ideal and try to live by it, but it doesn't make us happy. We feel guilty for not feeling good, even though the ideal seems perfect on paper. That's how I want to be, and that's how I think the world will be perfect. I have no impact. I'm doing this without electricity in my caravan. It's perfect for the image we've created of our ideal selves. Deep down, she prefers being in Paris with friends and playing concerts when she's true to herself. So that was interesting. It was a pretty extreme but symbolic case about this gap between the ideal and the things we build for ourselves and then reality. Leaving isn't a big deal, it's necessary. Right. No, the only advice would be to find the tools, to get support, all that to learn how to feel what's alive inside us. Knowing things change, you may want to join an eco-community in September and leave by December, and that's okay. Actually, some people have had their lives changed because of this, here or elsewhere. So it's not a bad thing if someone wants to come and settle in and then leave, as long as the eco-community is consciously open to that and accepts it. There are eco-communities that need people, and that can be unsettling. But if we can say, well, no, actually, yes, that's the goal. So before, we were like this, but now we've arrived. Well, actually, yes, come, experience it, and no pressure. Really, you just have to live it. And actually, we lack spaces like this one, I think, where there's the freedom to experiment with collective living without that pressure, without that commitment.
You do the same thing, but on top of that, you're going to listen to each other a bit because you hear the other voice simultaneously. Right? There will also be some edge traps. You really have to watch the hands, otherwise it doesn't work.
I mean, I think I certainly will end up in other projects and other places and doing other things, but I don't see that in my immediate future. Right now, Utopia feels like a place that I want to invest my time in and continue to build this community, and at the same time continue creating the space for other people to come and also experience what I had a desire to create, because I believe it's the right way or a more harmonious way of living. So yeah, for now it's quite good.
It's the people who want to live here are the ones who decide, you see? I didn't have the right to say yes to you, no to you. That is, it's always been very complicated for me to make this selection. The desire to live there is present. Actually, and that drive, I don't want to break it. I want to welcome it. We need help. We need more people. We need to be in a community. We want that for ourselves. And so as a result, before I didn't really ask myself too much, actually, if it was a good fit for that person. You see, and I think that I make sure that it works. And maybe that's the reason why, you know. That freedom allowed the person to come and realize it for herself. Là, que Maybe, in the end, it wasn't really the place of her dreams or what she had imagined. That is to say, people came to bring something, to receive something, to learn something as well, to accomplish things, and their path is somewhere else, maybe to build another place. Some will build another place, and some will just go on with their lives as if nothing happened before. But I think no one will remain indifferent. Everyone will have made a little of what we experienced here their own.
We share an experiment that works well in some ways, less in others, and some things can evolve. So there are people who can come here and be touched by it, but also who might not like the place, not like the region, or who say, well, I'd like to do this, but only among women, or I'd like to do this, but in Brittany. Some people may visit, get inspired, and start places with different names. Initially, we wanted everything under Utopia, but realized that doesn't make sense, recognizing that what's here is unique and can't be duplicated elsewhere. It will ultimately depend on the people, the place, what's being experienced at that moment, and the era. So yeah, trying to replicate Utopia as I see it now would be meaningless. On the other hand, the fact that what we're doing can inspire other people to do things, that's great.